questions that I have. Thank you for letting me go over I think I'm probably over my 5 minutes.
No, you're not.
So Piqua Improvement Corporation is a big concern of mine right now, and I'm unable to find any bookwork for Piqua Improvement Corporation for 2020, 2021, and 2022. And there's no records that I can find. And with contacting the auditor, it shows that this hasn't been completed. So I'd like some transparency on the bookwork for Piqua Improvement Corporation, if that's possible.
Sure.
And then also Piqua Improvement Corporation and the city of Piqua, if I get on the auditor's webpage, I do believe that the city owns over 200 properties, and the info on the purchase price or the selling is incomplete. And the auditor says that it's because the city of Piqua hasn't provided them with that information. I think that should be public knowledge also. And one more. Piqua Improvement Corporation or the city of Piqua has purchased a piece of property, 51822, and they paid $7,600 for it. And then
What's
the
address?
property is N44-008735. And so we're, or I should say, the city of Piqua or the Piqua Improvement Corporation purchased that for $7,600, and they gave it away.
Where is it?
I'm going to say that they gave it to Mark Schweitzer. So just curious on where we get the funds for purchasing the properties, and then the purpose of giving this property away.
What's the address of the property?
I don't have the address of the
the lot
property,
number.
but I can give you the
He gave you the lot number.
lot number.
Yeah.
Can we check into this and get back with you?
Yes, please.
I'd like to know myself.
I'm just curious, and there's a bunch of people curious why the city has this many properties and
Well, that's a good
why.
question.
What, we just want to know what's going on in our town, you guys. And I think it should be on the auditor's office. And can we get an update on what we plan to do with these properties? So we all want to improve our town, okay? And that's the only reason that I'm here, is because I care deeply about this town, okay?
Okay.
So thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
Jeff, can I ask a quick question with that property? When did that transfer happen? What was the year of it?
51822.
I'm just showing a purchase of 518 at 22 is when I could find out that it was
Okay.
purchased.
Okay. Thank you.
So, no, thank you guys for your time, and I appreciate you listening to us for this rental registration also,
See
okay?
what we can do.
Thank you so much.
No problem. Thank
Come
you.
with solutions. Come with ideas.
Yep, come with some, seriously. We'll do more than just listen. If you got something that works better, we'll implement.
Okay, so my idea is VIP, which is volunteer in Piqua.
Okay?
And my goal is to never have somebody lose their property, okay? Little old ladies are coming to me and they're scared to death. They've lived here for 35 years. And if their house isn't painted or there's something that doesn't meet code, they can't fix it. So I'm asking that before anybody would have their property condemned, that you give VIP or volunteer in Piqua a chance to address these people's issues so that we don't want any more homeless people,
Simple, yeah.
right?
Yeah,
So
makes sense.
I'm asking you to have some compassion for some people.
Well, we've been asking for the same thing, for involvement and helping us, help each other.
Yes,
So I don't
We
think
like
it's a
it.
bad idea at all.
right.
I think it's a great idea. VIP, right?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. Thank you guys so much for your time.
No
Yeah,
problem.
thank you.
And just so the citizens are aware, we all sit on different boards as commissioners. So on the Piqua Improvement Corporation, you do have two of the city commissioners that sit on that board. as well as city commissioners that sit on other boards. So know that city commissioners are part of those conversations that are happening, so.
And Commission, I'd like to address the 200 properties because many of those properties are parkland, right-of-way, leftover remnants of parcels that have been acquired through demolition funds and things like that. And the reason that some of the properties are donated back to the adjacent property owners is because we have the liability to mow and maintain those properties. In some situations, the property owner next door has been cutting it. So, for years, they've been cutting it, and by rights, I think it's the right thing to do. We try to divide properties amongst the two adjoining property owners, and sometimes it ends up going to one of them. But we certainly, the properties that we own that show up on the auditor's website are not all inclusive of just real estate that would be buildable. It's definitely parkland, the linear park, things like that.
Okay. Any other comments?
I have one question. So kind of with those properties, and I think it's to be understood that every situation is different and unique. And so when some of those properties are conveyed, if there is a dollar value on it, depending if somebody's going to make an investment into that, if it makes sense, or helping each other, I think we look at each situation individually because it's not just black and white, correct?
That's correct, and that's the whole purpose of the Piqua Improvement Corporation, and it's quasi-governmental, like Commissioner Hines said, that we have two commissioners that sit on it. We have city staff, but it's chaired by business people in the community.
Thanks.
Can we look into the parcel that he talked about? I'll send you the.
Yeah,
email.
we can look into that,
Find out
and certainly the filings,
Audit.
the filings for PIC have been done. They're just not published, but we'll get those
Yep.
put
when it
together.
goes out, Yep, I'm with you.
To expound on the parcels are set out by the lots, and those lots, like this building might be on 5 lots. I don't know, I haven't looked, so someone.
Could you use your microphone?
Oh, sure. Parcels
Thank you.
are basically set forth by lots or parts of lots. This building itself could sit on, and I don't know, so someone doesn't go and look and say, well, it's not on 5, it's on 1. This parcel right here could have 5 to 10 lots, or this lot could have 5, building should have 5 to 10 parcels. So when someone says up, 200 parcels, well, that's very possible, but it could be Pittsburgh Park, I don't know, that could have 15 or 20 parcels, and you have to look at the whole area and see where they're at. I don't think we own 200 some odd parcels all spread out all over the place. I think if you'd look, they would be concentrated into an area, so.
All right, but he asked about a specific one, so I just want to check into that.
May I speak to that? We'll certainly get you some additional information, but the one referenced on West Water Street next to Schweitzer Heating and Cooling, that was a property that this commission previously authorized to go through the land realization program. It was an abandoned property that had back taxes. It was across the alley from that business, and that business had been maintaining it and had an interest in being able to gain control of it, but didn't want to deal with the back taxes. So the program facilitated the foreclosure process through the county so the back taxes could be removed, and then the property could be conveyed from the county to the electing subdivision, which is the city, and then from the city to PIC, who could convey it to the business interest. So in effect, the city helped a small business owner continue to grow and prosper in the location where they're at. We did not pay $7,600 for it. The properties are conveyed from the county for $1. The only thing we pay for are the cost to advertise the foreclosure action and the expenses that the county incurs to facilitate that action. And then PIC sets a sale price with the interested party, which has traditionally been 10% of the land value as appraised by the auditor. That 10% is a very minuscule amount for most of these lots we're talking about, and that covers the expenses that were incurred from the county that the city pays and then PIC reimburses. So we'll get you all the specifics on the numbers and whatnot, but that was a success story out of the land realization program.
And I know that many years ago, we were talking about, and I think it's Columbus has the mow to own program, and because we have so many homeowners who are taking care of property that might be next door to their house or something like that, which is a help to the city because they're mowing it and then over so many years. So this land utilization program is to help this. I mean, and some of the stuff that we just did with the resolution that we passed, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's a positive for the community. It takes properties that are otherwise abandoned and/or neglected and have significant back taxes that the school's not realizing the tax revenues on, and puts them into an ownership position where they can be productive once again and benefit that party who was interested in it in the first place.
And we had a meeting to the public where you could see all the land that was, or properties, parcels that was being proposed to enter in this program, and to describe it a little bit more and kind of bring that knowledge, correct?
That is
That was
correct. Yeah, we had
7 months
a
ago.
meeting specifically to talk about the program, the particulars of how it works, and go into as much detail as anyone asked us to about how we do it, what the Ohio Revised Code provision is that allows us to do it, who PIC is, who the city is, who the county is, and how all those parties interface with one another to facilitate these transactions.
So would these properties be a part of that, like 200 parcels, if you looked it up?
I really don't think that's what's being referred to
Curious.
there. I think it's closer to what the city manager and law director were referring to, that you have, a number of city facilities that occupy multiple lots that consist of one or more parcels. Park ground, for example, may have, 5, 10, 20 parcels that represent one park area. So that adds up, both in terms of the number of parcels and the number of acres. So it's a little misleading to say the city owns 200 properties. Some tracts of land that the city owns include multiple parcels.
So I think that's been brought up multiple times in the past, and I think it's a good question on that transparency is, do we have like a list of not just like the parcels, but can we provide to say like what kind of properties that we own? I think that's what people are really wanting to know and be open about what we own and maintain.
It's actually, I'm looking at the website
Yeah,
right now. If
thank
you
you.
go to our website, it is right there when you go to the land, the reutilization program. There is a list of the available properties on here, pictures, and great explanation kind of as to what they're looking for. Obviously, the first one on here is the old library. And so,
Fix that.
and it states that PIC is currently seeking an individual with redevelopment proposals for that. So if you were a citizen and you saw something on here and you were interested in it, you could talk to the development department, I'm thinking, and get in touch with PIC if you had some ideas to develop that property. This is open for any citizen to be able to do. Am I correct? I mean,
That is correct.
And basically, it's people who've come forward, who've noticed this and have said, I would like to develop this property.
And there are guidance documents on that website that explain how you go about that process.
So is there a list of all city-owned structures or buildings outside of what's on the land reutilization?
So there's two separate things we're talking about here.
Yeah,
The
I
land
agree.
realization program is the delinquent tax properties that are vacant and abandoned. City-owned parcels, that's certainly a list we can put together for you. I'm thinking we've even mapped it at one point or another. I was trying to look real quick to see if it's even already out there on one of the layers that we
Thought we
have
did.
posted on our GIS maps.
I thought we did too, but I know it's
But
came
if
up
it's
multiple
not, we
times,
can
so it'd be
publish
nice to
that.
have that
Let's
out
put
there.
it out there so everybody
Yeah.
can see them.
I mean, it's easy enough to go to the county auditor's
Yep.
mapping service
Somebody
as
did
well.
that.
It's not hard to pull it
Facebook, I
up.
saw it.
Thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else have a comment? Okay. All right, move on to the city manager's report.
Good evening, Commissioner. We're going to start this evening with a community development report by Taylor Bowser.
Good evening. Before you, Commission, there was a packet of a community development report that was put together. We are also available to pull it up on the screen as well if for the rest of the parties here to view, but I just wanted to walk you through what that looks like. It should be one of the PDFs on the screen, sorry. It should say community, August Community Development Report. Perfect. So in that report, on the first page, as you flip it, we just put together some information on the Community Development Division and what our department's responsible for in terms of the Community Housing Preservation Program, the Community Development Block Grants, Fair Housing, Landlord Tenant Rights and Responsibilities, our revolving loan funds, our small business programs, as well as public relations and special events. And then on the following pages, just to put together some program updates. Wanted to provide an update on the first program, which was the Small Business Grant Program. We, as part of this program, awarded 25 small businesses grants, and 12 of the projects have been fully awarded their funding and have been completed. There are 5 projects that are in progress, and then there are 8 of those properties that are in various stages, but they have not requested their reimbursement. And you can see on that packet the breakdown that's color-coded of those. To date, we've awarded almost half of the funds, that $500,000 that was allocated towards the program. So it's making very great progress.
Dollar amounts listed in here as well?
I did not include the breakdown of the amounts that each business received, but we do have that information, and I can provide that. The next program I wanted to talk about is the Community Reinvestment Areas, which is an economic development tool that's administered by the Development Department that provides real estate tax exemptions for property owners who renovate existing properties or do new construction. So right now, we currently have 28 active projects with CRA exemptions. This year, we've received 5 new CRA applications, and we have certified 2 of those properties. As for the Community Development Block Grant, that is the program that we use the allocation from the state to address various concerns that meet low to moderate income individuals. And this, for the 2021 cycle, we elected to do the Slum and Blight program. So that program right now, with the $150,000, we have abated and demolished 4 structures, and we have scheduled 3 more abatements and demolitions to finish out the allocation by October.
What fiscal year is that for?
The grant funding runs for 2021 to 2023. It's a biennial allocation. As part of the CDBG program, we administer a fair housing program. So as part of the Fair Housing Act, we develop an informational program that talks about what it means to be responsible for landlord-tenant rights and what fair housing looks like for tenants. So as part of that program, we hold various trainings with different groups of individuals. So each program year, we hold 3 trainings. In 2023, we've held 2 trainings so far with the Southview Neighborhood Association and the Piqua Improvement Association, and then we have 1 more planned before the end of the year, and we're working on coordinating that. And we distribute the brochure on the screen is one of the examples of the information that we disseminate to the various agencies in the community, to include the city agencies, the Piqua Compassion Network, Salvation Army, the Chamber of Commerce, YMCA, YWCA, the Piqua Library, and the Bethany Center. The Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program, which we call CHIP, is the program that provides grants and loans to income-eligible homeowners living within the city that need housing repairs or complete rehabs. So that program is designed to assist the low to moderate income families and individuals with federal funding distributed through HUD. So in 2020, we partnered with Miami County Board of Commissioners, the city of Tip City, and the city of Troy to apply for that funding. And we budgeted $260,000 of that fund to complete a combination of private owner rehabilitations and homeowner repair projects. And The grant cycle was extended, and it will end September 30th of this year. And we have completed to date 4 private owner rehabilitations, 1 homeowner repair. We have 2 homeowner repairs in progress, and then 1 homeowner repair is out for bid currently.
Do we have any information about the next budget cycle for the CHIP program?
Yes, I can get you that information. And I believe a resolution to enter in that agreement was previously brought forth in June, and we should know in September what funds were awarded.
Could we connect that CHIP program with the VIP program so that some people that are in the community that would meet the standards could get some help?
Yeah, of course. And then the land reutilization program, just wanted to cover that very quickly. As we had discussed earlier, we have 37 available properties. We have received 11 proposals and applications for those available properties, and 4 of those 11 proposals are for side lot transfers. Just to cover some upcoming special events, I wanted to include things that you should keep on your radar. To include some half marathons, the parades, Harvest Day Festival, Halloween's coming up, and then we'll have the Christmas festivities. And then also I wanted to include in the report just some various incentive programs that we have available to small business owners in the community. I wanted to include those flyers and get that information out there about these various programs. So we have 3 revolving loan funds. So the first one that is included in the packet is the Business Development Revolving Loan Fund, which is intended to support small business investment within the city. Typically, that program would be for an employer that has fewer than 50 employees. They have less than $1 million in annual revenue, and they are going to create some sort of job. So that's listed in there, and that's an available program. We also have our Economic Development Revolving Loan Fund, which works in a very similar capacity and has some requirements. It's typically used as a gap funding mechanism for a business that's looking just for additional funding to push their project over the finish line. The Micro Enterprise Revolving Loan Fund is another revolving loan fund that we have. Again, it's really aimed at helping low to moderate income job creation and retention for small for-profit businesses in the city of Piqua. And there are various eligible uses, again, if there was an interested party for that program. We also have information out there about our community reinvestment areas. So if there are any individuals that are looking to do some residential reinvestment on their properties, I would encourage them to check to see if they are within one of these CRAs. And if they meet those improved values, there's potentially some property tax abatements that could be available to them. Same goes for any commercial or industrial reinvestment. There are similar property tax abatements that could be realized if they're in one of the 7 CRAs that we have. And then the last item just wanted to cover in the report was the Piqua Fund. That's available to just kind of serve as a catalyst for real estate development and redevelopment projects that really push Piqua forward. So those flyers are all available on our website if anybody is looking for additional information, and this report will be published there as well. And thank you.
Great job.
I didn't see on the list of projects in your department a first-time homebuyers project. We've talked about that a little earlier, and I knew it was in development, but I'm curious to know where we are with that, and is that something that we are publicly able to implement?
Yeah, of course. Our new development analyst, Jana, is working on that program. Right now, we know that there are some available resources through the Ohio Housing Finance Agency. And since they have such a robust and developed program, we really wanted to work on leveraging those resources and putting together that information. So we're working on developing that, and hopefully soon we'll have something available on the website. But if there is anybody here interested today if you do go on the Ohio Housing Finance Agency called OFA, their website has a complete list of that information, but we are just looking to leverage that and get that information out there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Taylor.
All right, thank you. So I only have one item on my list this evening, excuse me, and there'll be a press release tomorrow that we're changing the hours here at the Municipal Government Complex effective September 11th, and the hours will be 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. This is out of a lot of consideration and a lot of conversation over the last year since we've implemented the Smart Hub app. Rita has become our online resource for income tax, so income tax is no longer processed here as well. And the health department moving to the county also, it eliminated a lot of the foot traffic we had for birth certificates, death certificates, things of that nature. The improvements in efficiency will net a savings for actually the ratepayers who paid the utility billing office overtime. There's a substantial amount of overtime involved in that just to process the drawers at the end of the day. And with that consideration, we, increased the amount of opportunity to do payment through the hub on the phone after hours, as well as the several locations across town, the gas station across the street, Walmart. So having the hours shifted should not really yield much of an impact. There will be appointments between 4 and 5 p.m., so if you can't make it by 4 o'clock, you can call and set up an appointment to come in.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, commission comments? Commissioner Hines?
Thank you. The only comment I have is we are getting close to school starting. Hard to believe the summer is slowly or quickly passing by. So when we meet here next time, at least Piqua City Schools will have their first day. So we will meet here the day after Labor Day. And just remember, our kids are out on bikes, and our teachers are getting ready and their classrooms ready to get back to school. So just remember that our school buses will be moving shortly, and there'll be a lot more traffic earlier in the morning. So that is all I have.
Right.
Thanks.
Commissioner Grissom?
Thanks. I just want to say, appreciate people coming out, giving suggestions. Jeff, I love the idea. VIP is a cool name. What Eva's doing, I'm really curious to hear and see what we can do there. Like I said, I love the involvement, the volunteers, and the waterway cleanup. That's never ceased to amaze me. But disappointing to hear that much is being put into our riverways. I do appreciate, too, the comments on what type of information that you'd like to see. Like I said, I know since Paul's came on, we've been nothing but trying to be transparent on some of those. I know our website really worked to try to get that updated because a lot of the information wasn't there. If we're finding a lack of information that needs to be transparent, let us know so that we can get that out there. Same with the GIS system. I know we've been working on that to be able to get things updated as well. So anything that you find like that, I have no problem sharing. So, but it needs to be brought to our attention if it is a priority for people and something that people want to see. Be happy to work on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
That's it.
All right. Vice Mayor?
Just appreciate people coming out and welcome people to come tomorrow. We call it a listening session, but what I'm listening for is for ideas, anything that could help make this something that you guys will like better. And because I've been told why you don't like it, been told what you don't like about it, but what I need to know is what we can do, if there's anything, to make it better. It's been changed, I don't know how many times, and you can go look at the strike-throughs and the different iterations of the program. And all of those changes were a result of what people suggested, you suggested. So, I mean, if it needs to change more, it needs to change more. So I'll look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. Listen to some good ideas, and I want people to be civil. I'm very civil with you, and I know you'll be civil with me. And we're here to hear you out. And, we want to take your ideas that you have, to the city manager. He's going to be here, but he's not answering questions. He's here to write your ideas down, take it back to his executive team or the team that's working on this, and see if anything can be implemented, changed, whatever, if necessary. If not, so be it. But at least we want to work with you, so work with us. And my school started today. It was a crazy day. I work at the Miami Valley Career Technology Center. There's 2,000 kids. Only half of them were there. And juniors came today. Seniors will come tomorrow. So the rush is on. So be prepared for our next meeting with you guys. School will be in session. So watch out for little kids. Watch for buses. And be safe. So I'll see everybody tomorrow.
Hey, real quick, you're talking about listening. Someone just messaged me and said on YouTube, none of the audio is working. So,
Right, they've been working on the back room, and it
Oh,
might be an
they-
issue with
okay.
YouTube.
okay, I think some people are wondering if we did it intentionally. That is not at all the
No.
case.
Oh my God.
So, but just as a heads up.
Thanks for saying that. I didn't get that.
Commissioner Better?
Yeah, my comment is a shout out to the fire department. Unfortunately, my wife had an opportunity to receive services from the emergency squad. She tripped and fell at home, and it was an interesting situation because the house was dark and my dog was loose. And so the EMTs that came to the house were very professional, very helpful, and we had a good experience. And I think sometimes we forget that not everybody behaves that way. So it's nice to say a nice shout out to the fire department for their prompt, courteous, and professional experience. So we appreciate it very much.
Good, thank you. The only thing I had was I wanted to give a shout out to Hartzell Propeller. They were named by Forbes, who is a global media company, to the 2023 list of America's best small employers. So in Piqua, Ohio, our own Hartzell Propeller. And congratulations to that great company. That's all I had. I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? We are adjourned. Have a good evening.
So, the resolution itself wasn't on the website?
It was in your.
It's in our packet, but they couldn't see it. That's
I thought it's always been on.